Hey guys, welcome back to Race to the 60 Foot. My name is Emily. We have our host, Quenton Hall, also known as Dark Horse 50, Connor Diggs, and today we have our special guest from Redemption Auto Repair. We have Derek and Kari. Thanks so much for coming on, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so first off, we'll kind of talk about your car. So tell us a little bit about the 2-valve.
So it is a 2000 that I bought from the factory in 2000. I drove it for maybe 10,000 miles on the street and turned it into a complete drag car. It was an NMRA competition car that we ran in a heads-up class called Pure Street for many years. Now, since NMRA got canceled, it just kind of sits. It is a all-NA motor. 2-valve, 286 cubic inch motor with PI heads on it. A lot of custom other parts, a lot of time from me working on it. Best pass it's made has been 970s at 138.
Oh my gosh.
So yes.
That is wild.
Moving.
Yes.
What's the record?
Right around there.
I say Chad was
Because-
like, he might have the fastest one.
Well,
Ask.
it gets a little convoluted. So back in the day, Ken from Palm Beach Dyno had a 2-valve. We kind of went back and forth with times. Also, Brandon went 4-valve from BA Motorsports, if you know that name. But so I'm right around there. But some of those guys end up switching to trick flows.
Mm-hmm.
So I was still one of the guys still running the PI heads, and I think I was approaching a limit of what you could do NA with it. So
That's flying.
yes,
though.
yeah, it's
That's
fast.
wild to think about.
It's got a 4-speed G-Force 101A in it. So it's the shifter sets closer to you, so you got linkages on the sides.
Yeah.
You have to cut stuff out to fit. But
Mhm.
it's you launch off the clutch, and then you don't ever touch the clutch again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just a 4-speed race transmission. So
it just sits there now?
yeah,
Haven't taken it to the new track yet?
no, and I'm 5 minutes from the new track.
That's what I mean. You're so close.
Man. Yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely got to take it there, man.
It's funny. We were talking earlier with one of my kids. We were talking about them not racing at the dirt track, but then we were talking about the drag strip, and he's like, "Oh, I can hear the track wakes me up in the morning. Like when they do run some of the races over the weekend, it'll wake you up. You'll definitely hear it. So we can hear it.
I
and
bet.
That's how close we are. I never thought I'd have a drag strip in my backyard,
That is
but
crazy.
yeah. It's
A lot
there.
of people may not have been like excited to hear that, but I figure you guys were like, oh heck yeah,
Yeah.
like let's go.
I was excited, and then I haven't been there.
Yeah. It reminds me of waking up in it, because when we would sleep at the track, you would wake up to cars driving their engines by 7 a.m.
Oh
So, yeah.
yeah.
Everybody's
that's
out there
awesome.
testing.
Yeah.
Have you ever rode in the car?
Yes.
Oh yeah. What'd you think? What's if you had one word to describe it?
I don't know. To me, it's just fast. But, I mean, like, he talks about it. I mean, I don't know. It's just a fast car.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, you got to get that thing out there, man.
He makes me nervous. Like, he hit a wall once, but that was it.
Did you
Just
get hurt?
No.
Yeah, I almost-
No. Yeah, he kind of.
No, that'll scare you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've even like when we went racing. I mean, many years ago, we had a friend that just hit the side of the curb and just curbed a wheel. I mean, it freaked me out because when you're racing, I mean, you're like,
Curb to wheel is a nice way to say what
I mean,
that was.
yeah.
That was a 60-mile-an-hour impact on the curb with two
Okay,
wheels.
there we go.
Spinning.
Yeah.
But I'm like, the first thing I'm like, did they like hit their head on anything? I mean, you never know. But yeah, no, it's crazy.
The only thing I'll say about the car, other thing is it's pretty unique for the fact that it's carbureted. It's carbureted and it's got a crank-driven distributor on it. So it's old school technology. It's not, I fought for years trying to make the computer system work in it, to spin it, because we spin it to about 9,000. I've seen 10,000 on the data log coming out of the water box a couple of times accidentally. Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, oops, like that's scary.
Oopsie.
But we launch it at, it was launching 7,800 RPM somewhere, clutch dropping it at that. So it was a fight for a lot of the stock computer stuff for me to get over the 8,000 mark. And through some help of friends, especially one out of Florida, kind of guided me, and that's really what helped me pick up the car improved immensely. And then we went to that crank-driven distributor setup. So it's got an old school digital 7 box on it and all that. So it's pretty,
Dude,
it's funny. It's like it's 2 valves, a modern motor, but it's old technology.
That is cool. I've never heard of anybody taking that far.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It's something
9s.
else. Yeah.
How did you get into cars?
And I started a Mustang craze when it was actually be one of my sister's ex-husbands. He was in the cars, and he had a 88 50, and that kind of what started it for me right there. And I've only had like one Fox body because somebody doesn't care for him.
Yeah, I don't really like them very much. So
Love it or hate it.
Yeah.
yeah,
They
yeah.
really are.
I mean, I've had several others. I've had a modular motor though since 1997. I had my first car was an 88 5-liter Thunderbird, and then I switched to a 94 Thunderbird that had the 4.6 in it.
Oh my gosh.
So my knowledge on 4.6 has been there. That's all I've ever worked on.
yeah.
So yeah.
You could do it with your
Yeah,
eyes closed
yeah.
at this point.
And that car's had 2-valve in it. It's had a 4-valve in it, and then we've gone back to the 2-valve. I had a lot of problems with the 4-valve, just trying to control valve train with that stuff. So and it gets a lot more expensive. So
Oh yeah.
Ain't that
Yeah,
the true?
yeah, as you probably know.
Oh, yeah.
Quentin, tell them a little bit about what's done to your car.
So I just have a 2014. It has a Gen 3 swap motor in it, twin 67 66s with a TH400 setup. So more street car-ish.
More street car.
Yeah.
Does both.
Well, I mean, I was just complaining today I didn't have overdrive, but, you know, you have that on those big jobs. So,
How many miles you drive a day? 100 miles?
yeah, about that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a
Oh my
street car.
gosh, that's a lot. Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
street car. Yeah.
I'm proud of my transcooler. So,
Is it a stock motor or built?
stock motor.
It's stock
Yeah.
bottom end Gen 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get down.
Gen 3 heads or
Gen 2 heads.
Gen 2 heads? Okay.
Mhm. 321 build.
Yeah, there you go.
And then there's us. We're like, we just charge our cars. I do have a
Hey,
Camaro. I have a Camaro.
I've heard about that. I heard about the ride from somebody. So
Oh,
from Jim.
oh my! It was so funny. I told him, I said, "Put your head back," and he goes, "Emily, whatever." And then as soon as we did a hit on the highway, he looked at Connor. He was like, what was that?" He's never been in a Tesla before, but I'm like, it's that immediate torque. I mean, it'll just, it's crazy.
Had me just giggling in the back. Like, I just can't believe it.
I know. I love giving rides. It's like
Yeah.
the funnest thing ever.
Oh, it's a hoot. I mean, so talking about my dad, so you used to work with him
I
as
did.
a firefighter and paramedic. You worked there for what, like over 10 years, right?
I was with them for about 16 years, at least on the fire department.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So how did you get into, being a firefighter and now doing what you are now? Like, what was that step like?
So gosh, I started working on cars, like my own stuff, like I said, pretty young. Especially when I bought the 2000, that's when I started doing more stuff back in 2000. I got on the fire department in 2006, and then so like on the race car motor, only thing that was done for me was machine work. Everything else is all me. I assembled it, I checked everything, I did all my ring gaps, I checked everything, I ported the heads, I've done all the intake work, everything's been done through me. And then then I started creeping in, as most things happen over time. You start doing work for other people, and then it creeps into doing more and more. And then I got into, people ask me to repair their cars. Well, at that point in time, I kept it, kind of limited to just people I knew. And so throughout my time at the fire department, I did a lot of work for a lot of people at the fire department or other family members for just general repairs. And that's kind of what led me into doing this.
Was it a pretty scary leap for you to, I'm going to step away from the fire department and do this by myself now? Or was it like what, I'm confident I'm going to just dive into this and...
Initially, yes. I'd always loved cars, always wanted to do something. I had an opportunity to go work another job for about 7 months when I left the fire department. Through that and my relationship with the Lord led me to where I felt comfortable that I actually stepped away from that job that I left the fire department initially for to come open a shop. Because I knew that's what my true calling was. I love cars, I work on cars, I always have, and we were set up to be able to do it at home. And my commute to my shop is about 60 steps. So
Oh, that's amazing.
That's so
I
convenient.
can't even drink a cup of coffee in that time. So
That is awesome.
Oh
I love
my
hearing
gosh.
stories like
yeah,
that.
so it's yeah.
And you're happy.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm a little, I got to learn boundaries sometimes, but
She's like, yes.
Yeah, we work every day.
Yes.
So,
yes. Oh my gosh. No, that's amazing though. So, say you have, like a 20-something-year-old that walks up to you and is talking about, hey, I'm thinking about starting my own business or opening up my own shop. What would you tell them? Buckle up, brother.
You have ultimate freedom by working for yourself, but there's a lot of other stressors that come with that, especially financial and just, making sure the promotion of the business, trying to do the right thing for the customers, and you've got there's lots of battles there. And as I mentioned earlier, my personal relationship with the Lord, my business motto is we run a Christian-based business. It's Colossians 3:23, 3:24 about that, do your work wholeheartedly and do it as we're serving the Lord, not for people. And if you do that, everything will work out. And just trust that we're serving the Lord, because there's going to be many times that you doubt yourself, and you're going to be like, man, this isn't going to work, or man, the bank account's low, or I've got to do this, and now this person may not come back because this took too long, or whatever. And it just be honest in everything you do. I mean, if you get that off your shoulders, a lot of people carry that on them. They won't communicate that, and the communication is the biggest important key. Just communicate to your customers. Sometimes it's hard because you don't want to be like, yeah, I'm going to be an extra day on your car or whatever, but you just kind of have to do that and walk through that. That's a lot of big challenges, and just, it'd be done as long as you have the passion for it and want to do it and love doing it, then it's all right.
Yeah, no, I think that's great advice. I was telling him, whenever we opened this, I'm like, 2 things I ask out of you. I said, be genuine. Mm-hmm. Be genuine to everyone that walks in the shop, and be honest. And even if, like, we had a job last week, I sold my first job, and I actually called her back and I told her we need to cancel it because it wasn't exactly what she was looking for. Mm-hmm. And I knew that there would be something else out there that would be exactly in her description. But just being honest, I mean, it gets you so far. Like, people will remember that over, hey, my car looks pretty or whatever, or they did a great job working on my car. Sure. That word of mouth goes beyond, a lot of things. But no, that's amazing. Especially, like, I mean, as you guys know, you're married, it's not always a 50-50 split, as a team. Sometimes it's 60-40, or, you have to go back and forth. But I think that's what's so important about having a strong and awesome partner. I mean, it's running a small business is not for the weak.
No, it's not easy. I mean, if it wasn't for her, I couldn't do it. I mean, the accounting side, she handles a lot of that stuff for me. And so I can do the business stuff and, doing the work on the cars and all that. But without her, and she still works a full-time job, so that's a lot.
Oh my
gosh!
Down
and do all that stuff. So it's
you have 2 jobs pretty much.
I have actually 3 jobs because we also homeschool. So
oh my gosh,
yeah, we homeschool too. So we've got a lot going on at all times. So
lots of coffee.
Lots of coffee, not very much sleep.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he always gets mad at me because I only sleep like 4 hours a night. But there's too much going on.
Yeah,
so,
your mind probably
busy.
never stops.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Neither of you guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're always probably thinking of something at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's bad because, like I said earlier, my shop's right next to the house. It's one of those things that you'll literally, it's like, oh, I'm going to go over to my shop that used to be my personal space, but I'll walk over there, and next thing you know, I'm working on something. And I'm like, what am I doing? Like,
you're like,
it's
the
a
last
Saturday
6
or
hours ago?
It's like a Saturday or
Yeah.
Sunday. It's like, I got to go back to the house.
Yep.
She'll be like, where were you at? I was like, I said, I just had to finish something up real quick.
Well, we got home from baseball last night at almost midnight, and I took the dog out, and I'm like, why is the shop light on? And he's like, oh, I had to go over there and do a couple things first. I was like, seriously?
Oh my
So, yeah.
gosh.
It never stops.
No.
Never.
Mm-mm.
They don't tell you that when you start a small business.
No.
Like, oh, you get all this freedom, all this. No, you don't. You are on the clock 24/7.
You are.
Yeah.
And especially with my phone number for the business is my personal cell phone
Yeah.
number.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a very different avenue. I mean, but most part, people respect that for the most part.
Yeah.
So
Does your phone just constantly like blow up all the time?
it goes in waves, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Oh, I
Man.
bet.
Yeah.
Jeez.
We talk about maybe we need to get another phone number.
Well, and people can drop
Yeah.
off their cars at any time, too. So we'll have people drop them off late at night, over the weekend, things like that. So it's always available for them.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Going
one of
above
the
and
things,
beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just people ask us, I'm like, oh, when I drop off, I'm like, whenever you can make it here.
Yep, exactly.
Like,
Yep,
I'll be
absolutely.
here either
Yep.
way. What you got to
Exactly.
do.
Yep.
So how do you guys keep your mind straight? Do you guys like have any hobbies outside of work that kind of just help ease the stress, or what do you guys like to do? outside of work again?
He has a boat that we used twice last year, so he fishes. But other than that, we are dealing with the kids. We don't have a whole lot that we go do. We like to vacation in
Kids,
Florida,
and-
but that's about it.
Yeah, baseball with the middle kiddo. He plays comp baseball, and so we just try to spend a lot of time with the kids. The boat thing, I fish some. It's more of a speed thing for me.
Yeah.
So I have a bass boat that runs in the 90s. So yeah,
Hey,
Oh
yeah.
my
So
gosh.
yeah, so
Everything-
everything's a race.
Everything's got to go fast.
it has to. I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, it
Yep.
doesn't matter if it's a side by side, 4-wheeler. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
You got to make it faster.
Oh my gosh, that's
But yeah.
awesome.
So yeah.
No, just I don't know how you guys keep up with your schedule. I mean, on top of homeschooling and working and the kids and sports, I mean, you guys are doing a lot.
There's a lot on the calendar.
Yes.
So, yep. And then we volunteer a lot at church too, so we add that into the mix. So there's something every day on our calendar.
And it's about what, an hour drive for you guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Man.
Demanding schedule.
Hey,
Very demanding
commitment.
schedule.
I love it though.
Well,
So we used to live in Greenwood, like back in the early 2000s, and then we got the opportunity to move out where we're at now. I wouldn't want to move back. We have property, and you have freedom with that, so it's worth the drive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When you got your own land, I
Yeah.
mean,
it's nice.
It's nice.
Well, and I think he calculated up like each vehicle gets about 40,000 miles a year put on it, roughly. So that's how much we're driving.
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
So you always talk about what vehicle people drive. We drove a Raptor, but don't go look at it.
Yeah, it's
It's
dirty.
filthy.
So tell us, is that your daily?
That's her daily.
That's my daily.
She gets a
Ooh.
Ford
Atta
Raptor.
girl.
Well, I had to give up my Mustang because we got pregnant with baby number 3. So now there was 5 of us, and so I had to get rid of it. And with all the baseball stuff, I finally said I can't do this anymore. I'd be better off having a truck because
Yeah.
we had an expedition, and it just wasn't enough room. And so yeah, I got the Raptor. It's probably one of my favorites besides my Mustang.
A great
but-
replacement.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, a Gen 2 Raptor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep. That's normally what I drive. Yeah.
That's
I
a
don't
good
know. I think
choice.
she
Yeah.
still likes her. She had a 13 GT that we did bolt-ons and stuff like that, tuned and all that, and I think she still likes it.
It's still my favorite
Yeah.
car.
What color?
It was mineral gray.
Oh.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
like that.
My favorite. I know.
Yeah.
We tried to keep it, but after the baby girl came, he was just like, we can't do this anymore. So I was like,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't drive them with me to work. It can just be my work.
Yeah. Pull up in this thing.
Yeah. But it did not work good for a catching baseball bag for even in the trunk. It just did not fit a whole lot. So yeah.
We tried to fit, what was it? Something in Casey's trunk the other day. And I mean, even when you lift it, I mean, you only got this much to, yeah. They're not the most ideal, but they look good.
They look good. I know.
Oh.
I told them, I said, I actually drove the speed limit in that car because I felt like I was going fast. So, like,
yeah.
I didn't, it wasn't like me driving the truck where I'll catch myself going way over the speed limit.
Oh, yeah.
So,
You like look down, you're like, this doesn't even feel like it.
You're
you
so
know?
high up, it's like nice cushy ride.
Yeah.
You don't even realize it. You look down, you're doing like 90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's bad. And I do so much highway driving that I just don't even notice it anymore.
Yeah. Do you guys have a lot of like places around town where you guys live that are like quick and easy access, or do you have to like drive pretty far out?
We have to, it's a good 17 minutes or something like that. So, I don't know, 17 minutes to the closest town. Give or
That's
take.
not bad.
Yeah.
By the time you get in the car, you're like, I'm almost there anyway.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
doesn't matter. It's just as close for me to drive to like Blue Springs or something.
Oh, this is a fun one I had. Do you ever watch any TV shows where people are a firefighter or a paramedic and doing the wrong thing? And you're like, oh, that is bad.
That's a good question.
I can't watch them because it's so far off that I'm like, oh, that's not right. Like they'll try to watch it. The kids will try to watch it. I'm like, I can't watch this. This is pretty bad. So yeah, no.
Yeah. ER used to be really popular, and we would talk about it. He's like, this is so dumb. He's like, this is not real life at all.
Have you guys ever had that for any of your jobs that you guys have had where you watch it and you're like, oh, no, they're doing it total. Well, I guess you're kind of out of the mix. There's not really a lot of pig correcting jobs on TV.
I was like, yeah, well, not really.
Yep, I have it a couple times where like they'll be like, so my main job is working with medical equipment. So some things they'll do, and it was one show they called something like a flux capacitor, but it was just like a board, and it's just a lingo. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
I need to
I'm
talk
just
to
like
the
you. I'm like
producer.
I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're like, nope, I'm out. I
What
get
about
it.
you?
I work for a pediatric dentist, so like I'll see like people doing dental procedures. I'm like, that is not right at all. And I'm like, what are they doing? I'm like, that's not what it's called. So yeah.
Turn off the TV.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So what's one of the hardest jobs you've taken on so far? We're talking to you, Jim.
Just
No, I'm
laughs.
just kidding.
That's all of Jim's vehicles now.
You had that. I mean, you had a doctor I used to work for. You had his RX-7.
But that's been a long time
Yeah,
ago.
that
That was
was a long
probably one of
time
the
ago.
hard ones. I mean, I don't know. We did an OBS, a vortex swap and an OBS. That fought us a little bit. Just some certain little things on it on a 1988 C10 or 1500. Sorry. So yeah, that was a little bit of a challenge, but no, not really. I mean, nothing really that stands out because we do. Gosh, we do everything from oil changes to tires to major work. One of the cars we got in there right now is a 2016 Z06. Car's only got about 20,000 miles on it, and it has a Pro Charger on it. It's a P1A with not a P1A, sorry, F1A with a BTR cam in it, BTR intake. I think last time it was on dyno made like 740, but it blew a rear main seal out of it. They decided that they wanted to put a new one in it. We did all that. It come back, blew the rear main seal again because the rings are out of it. So now that car's getting rebuilt. So yeah, so that's in there right now. So brand new LT4 getting rebuilt. So
Oh, wow.
it'll be fun to see how it comes out of the shop when it's done. Hopefully it'll make it closer to 8 or a little bit over 8 on the dyno. So we'll see.
So how is it? Is it you and your son, or who's all working at?
So
your
I
shop?
have one full-time kid with me, then I have 2 part-timers with me that work 1 day a week each. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
Good exposure for them too, learning.
yeah.
I assume the part timers are younger.
Yeah, they're a lot younger.
Yeah.
Early 20s.
Heck yeah.
Hey,
Hey, I mean that's
they're
good.
learning.
They're learning.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
so
they're learning a
important.
lot. They're on a fast learning curve.
Yeah,
Because we end up with
exactly.
a lot bigger jobs than we do the smaller jobs.
That's normally how it works.
So they come in. Everybody comes in my shop right now. They're like, well, "You got what going on here?" I'm like, "Yep,
That was one of my questions. Was do you specialize in anything, or is it just a little bit of everything?
a little bit of everything." I'm more of a Ford guy. I mean, I'd say I specialize more toward the Ford side, especially modular stuff or EcoBoost, any of that stuff. I do a lot of EcoBoost work, from the cam phasers, the timing chain jobs, the cylinder heads, whatever. I've had some come in with hung valves that got bent. And, there's a little bit of everything on those you see. So the EcoBoost is nice, but they can be a problem.
Oh yeah.
They are very expensive to fix. So, I mean,
Man.
gosh, we work on diesels. I mean,
What's one of the coolest things you've worked on? Making you think now.
really, honestly, probably the Vet right now. That's the funnest one right now. It's a nice car. It's a fun car. And I think that's really the funnest one in the shop for everybody right now. So,
Oh yeah. What color is that one?
It's all white.
Oh, those are
Ooh.
beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, the C7's a fun car. Very, very comfortable. And that's the first one I've ever driven.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun car to drive. But when we put it back together this last time, we upgraded the clutch in it and changed over the crankcase ventilation system to a Mighty Mouse and just some things like that. It's been very nice. So it's been a fun little project for everybody.
Nice. 7-speed car then.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, that's a little different. Yeah.
Yeah, I had an 8-speed one, and that 8-speed it's horrible.
Really?
Yeah. Manual's the way to go with the
Yeah.
C7.
Yeah.
I regretted it every day. They're so much better.
Yeah. It's a fun car to drive for sure.
Yeah, with yours, you knew it was bad when every time you'd get in your car and you never smiled.
Yeah, the transmission was shuddering. It just didn't like to get 5th gear sometimes. Car had 7,000 miles. Yeah. And the TSBs of the fluid change.
yes, I was
and
gonna
this
say,
and that and the valve
yes.
body, and it was never right.
They're like, if it's got this much metal on it, you need to change it out the converter.
Yeah, exactly. I did that too, and it still didn't help.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun.
It was
Yeah.
just the bad apple.
Yeah.
The bad apple.
Bad
one.
taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. What would you say? Okay, we ask this on just about every pod we have. When I'm gonna ask this for both of you guys. You can pick any car you want. What is your dream car if you could pick it out tomorrow?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, I already
Do you
know
know
what
what
yours
you're
is.
gonna say?
Yeah, I
It's
do.
gonna like a 90 notchback with a Coyote in it with the turbo setup on it. Yep.
Yeah.
All
I
day
like
long.
that
All day
because
long.
people would say cars last time, but
Yeah.
they didn't get into detail.
Yeah, no,
so,
that's mine. That's,
Okay.
if I could have that, but somebody doesn't like the Fox Body. So
We've
once I
talked
said
about it a
it,
lot. Yeah, we
Yeah.
have talked about it a lot.
that would be absolute for me. Yeah. I said I've always wanted I never had a notchback. I did have a what year was that one? 80. I think it was 89 hatchback that I had. It was just pretty much stock. I think I may have done heads on it, but it was mostly what I drove every day for, I don't know, for a couple of years probably. Yeah. Ugly maroon. The ugly maroon car.
I told them I couldn't wait to literally push it down into a ravine and make it go away.
But I think I bought
So,
I bought the car for like $300.
it was
Oh.
four.
And it was running,
$400.
so why not?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't pass that up.
Yeah, yeah, it was $400. Worst $400 I think I've ever spent. He loved that car too.
Yep.
We've had a lot of cars though, and boats, but a lot of cars, trucks. I think we were counting up one day. It's been like 36 or something. So yeah.
The DMV loves you guys.
Yeah.
I know. Tell me about
Frequent.
it. Yeah. Well, some of them we had a, what was that Dodge? We veered to a Dodge once. And he really liked it, and then we went and bought a brand new one, and I think we got rid of it before it hit 7,000 miles because it had so many problems.
It
He
was
just
first year of
done.
the DEF trucks.
Oh, don't get me started on
So
that right
yeah,
now.
I had a DPF truck before that in 08, and I deleted it. It was great. And then that 13 that had the DEF on it, it was awful.
Yeah,
That thing.
I've
Yeah.
having problems with that currently with
Yeah.
my truck outside.
Yep, we were done with that one.
For sure.
We did not have it very long.
It's always doing that in your truck every
Mm-hmm.
time. You're like, oh, there goes 5 gallons of diesel. Bye.
Like regenning.
Yeah,
Trying to regen?
it's doing terrible things right now.
Mm-hmm.
Goes to dealer Tuesday
Oh,
to get looked at. Fun.
they'll be like, oh, it needs another DEF tank in it with another DEF tank heater and level sensor.
Oh,
Seems like
yeah.
that's what they all do. And there's another 2,500 or more.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it'll be.
yeah. Yep.
But life is so much better with the truck. I think we decided
Yeah.
that, like, we went, what was it, like a year without one, and you always need a truck.
The
It doesn't matter what
convenience.
cars you have,
Yeah.
you have to have a truck. And Quentin can vouch for that as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got rid of my Silverado, and that's my F-150 out there. It's my baby. I love that thing.
It's so comfortable.
Yep.
But no, it's just gotta have one, especially if you're moving stuff or you never know when a friend's gonna call. Hey, I need you to grab
Right.
this or whatever, or pick up all the Amazon packages. I mean, somebody's got to do it, you know.
You're always going to Nebraska Furniture Mart to buy something.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And you're never walking in and not, leaving with something.
right.
So,
Exactly.
Got to be prepared.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Delivery fee? No thanks.
I was
So-
actually there for that briefly.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I was working in the back corner at that point.
Yeah,
where
you
our
guys had the
detach-
nice black
Yeah.
put plastic up or whatever back there.
Yeah, I didn't know at
I
the
remember
time,
that.
but Chad was like, "Oh, he did that." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, really?"
So, a little background on that. So, I get my years right here. Around 2006. So, like I said, I'd raced NMRA from. Really, I started attending NMRA events in 1999 in Bowling Green, and then I pretty much stuck with them all the way through 16. I raced a mod motor like index racing for a long time. I got bored with that because I'm not bracket racing really wasn't for me. I wanted to go heads up racing. So that's where we went. You bring what you got, and if it ain't enough, we're going to go home. And sometimes we went home more often than what we wanted to, but that's all right. we fought the hard fight through all that. But long story where I'm going with all that is 2006, I ended up with a sponsorship out of Chicago. No one may know their name, but they're not in business anymore. It's Logan Motorsports. They actually made some custom aluminum intakes for the 2-valve for a short period of time. And we had a connection with Cloy's at that time, and we were one of the first people to run a set of Cloy's adjustable timing gears on a 2-valve. They actually come out and we tested it on another car. It wasn't my car, but another customer's car through that shop. And that was the only option because back then you had you had like comp cams, I think, had adjustable gears. They were trash. They wouldn't hold. Literally, you'd put them in and they'd lose their timing in them. So if you couldn't get Cloy's, because at that point in time there weren't a lot of them, the best option is to file them, and especially on the 4-valves. So that's when I think I'd listened to Chad talk about we were filing keyways and trying to get it adjusted where he wanted it to go, and that was the only way at that point in time to do that. It was a lot of time, a lot of tedious work. So yeah, it took us a lot of time to get to that point. And we keep adjusting, especially on a 4-valve, because you got both the intake cam and the exhaust cam, and then you're trying to set your lobe separation between your intake and your exhaust cam shaft, and it just takes a lot of time to get it set correctly to what we were looking for. So
I remember that. That looked like a lot of fun.
yeah, it was a long night.
Yeah,
I think
know.
she had the dinner in the stove for me when I got home, but it was well after midnight.
So I remember
maybe
coming
like
and
2
going a
o'clock
few
one.
times, and you were still there every time
Yeah.
I was coming and
Yeah.
going. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah,
Such a good wife, having
Yeah.
the home cooked meal ready
Yes.
to go.
yeah, yeah. That's actually the first time I met Brandon too. So yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, yep,
They do good work out there.
they
too.
do.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's who built my Mustang.
Yeah.
He put everything in it.
Yep.
So, is that how you met Chad? Was working on that?
So the funny part is Chad bought his cams from Todd Warren, which he's not from around here. He kind of designs cams. He's from Ohio. And Todd reached out and said, hey, is anybody in the Kansas City area that can help somebody with D-Grand cams? And this guy said, yeah, sure, why not? I love working on these things. And so then Chad got a hold of me, and that's how I met Chad.
Oh,
So,
that's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
excited you're coming on tonight.
Real excited.
Yeah.
2-valve guys.
Yeah.
Got to go for the
Yes.
2-valve world. Two
Yeah.
valves for the win.
He was like, give him to give a breakdown of the 2-valve, like every part. I'm like, I don't know if he'll do that, but
Don't
we'll see
worry,
what we can get.
So the funny part is I have a Coyote block sitting in the shop, and I'm like, my kiddos are like, why don't you just put that in the Mustang, put that in the car and then put turbos on it. I was like, I don't know. Like, I really like my 2-valve. So I can't step away from that. I was like, maybe we just need to buy a different car for that project.
Yeah.
I was like, but and keep my 2-valve. I was like, yeah.
Yup.
Because she keeps asking me, she's like, you're going to get it back out? I was like, well, there's so much stuff done on that car that's custom that for me to get it back out, it's going to require a complete engine teardown, and then I'll put it back together because I don't have much room for any air, any type of
Yeah.
air. I'm going to put a valve right through a piston. So, yeah. And I've seen cars after they set for a while, they'll hang a valve, and
Yeah.
then there goes my expensive motor.
Yeah, good night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an expensive deal
Yeah,
then.
yeah, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. So yeah, so hopefully it'll be back out at some point. That's a goal.
One day.
Yeah.
Going
So-
down the track.
So if you were to do a new build, like on a new car, would you keep it NA, or what power adder would you go with?
This is a funny conversation because I saw a Mustang. So here, well, can we backtrack for just a minute?
Yeah.
What would you pick for your car?
I'd
I was
pick
gonna
a
say.
convertible Mustang. I want a convertible though, and that's a big, huge deal.
So we have a stipulation
okay.
on this. Mine is, I really don't want the convertible, but my main stipulation is like whatever you guys got to make 700 plus. So I'm like, that's kind of my ideal. So if you ask that, it would be a newer Coyote with a Whipple on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Like I was looking at a Whipple, the Stage 2 3.0 of the day and that type of stuff. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. That's how I would go with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
My goal is to eventually throw a Whipple on my truck.
There you go. See, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are bad. I like those. I really like those trucks. If it wasn't for the Fox body, that might be my second pick. And a little F-150 short bed, single cab with a big Whipple on it.
Oh yeah, they get down.
Yes,
Yep.
they do.
They get down.
What do they call it? The Mexican GTR?
Mexican GTR.
Yeah.
It's like I got that friend that built a Coyote. He's down in Florida. He's one that helped me a lot, but I think he's got a 3.8 Whipple on his. So it's a big
Ooh.
Whipple.
Big boy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I was like, man, I'd like to put one of those on a Coyote. Put that on a F-150. It'd be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to do a backflip.
Yeah.
Would you? Yeah, if you had a Mustang convertible that made over 700 horsepower, you'd have to get, a really good hair tie.
I know. Tell me about it.
Down.
And the funny part is, I'll let her drive it every day. I don't care.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I trust her.
Yeah, that would be my daily driver.
Oh, yeah.
Love that.
for
So, did you get into cars through Derek, or did you have family that got into cars, or how did you get into it?
Derek.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, no. My family is not into cars at all. So I actually met Derek when I was 15.
Oh my
and
gosh.
My stepbrother and him were friends in high school, and he was working on my stepbrother's. It was called
It's an
Mill
old
Yellow.
it was a Cavalier, like
Cavalier,
a 1980s Cavalier.
But he changed the oil for the first time in 2 years in the car. And so, yeah, that's how I met Derek the first time. Kind of started a small barn fire, but it was fine. So,
So tell us more about after you guys met, did you guys go on a couple dates and then you're like, you know what, this is the one. Tell us your story.
actually, I met him when I was 15, and then I didn't see him again until I was about 18. And we went on a double date with other people. He was dating somebody that he dated in high school, and I went out with one of his friends, and I don't know. Then we started playing softball. My stepbrother is a huge sports fanatic, and so we started playing softball together, and that's when we started actually dating. And that was, I was a sophomore in college. He was a senior in college, so yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
so the funny part is, she's not gonna tell it. I will.
Go ahead.
So she was like, all she knew is that I had a car. She was like, I'm not dating nobody that has a truck. You have to have a truck because he wants like a country guy and all this stuff. And so she's thinking the first time we go on a date that I'm gonna show up at her apartment in a car. No, I showed up in my F-150, and she's like, oh, well, good thing he showed up in a truck because otherwise I probably wouldn't date him.
I probably would have gone out on a second date. Probably not. He is right.
Got out of the
Yep.
truck.
I'm like,
Stipulations.
I'm like,
Yep,
you don't like
yep.
my car? Like, what's wrong with my car?
Yeah. So yeah, and then that was in 2001. So yep, and we started just dating then, and then he was already into cars. He was already doing NMRA, going to car shows primarily, and then he started the drag racing. So yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what's your guys' secret to marriage?
Concentration, probably having the Lord as the foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's definitely been just ups and downs. I mean, your dad being in the fire department, it's just hard. When he went to 2 days gone, sometimes be gone 3 or 4 with overtime. It's
And I
just
feel
hard.
like not a lot of people know that about firefighters. It's like, it's not, 9 to 5. You're gone 24, sometimes 48, or if you pick up overtime, it's even more.
Yep.
And especially those that have like a wife or kids at home. I mean, it's not easy. It's not for the weak at all.
It is not. And, I'm a pretty independent person, so for me it was fine. But it's just you miss out on so much.
Yeah.
So just the kid stuff, like we would be at baseball or our daughter would have a dance recital or something and he wouldn't be able to go because you don't know about those things ahead of time and you
Yeah.
just pick out your schedule a year in advance and you just don't know.
Yeah.
Or the Christmases or things like that. So that was huge.
Would you say with having your business now that you've been able to go to more events and make time for those types of things?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
I think most times, sometimes I may let it push into that a little bit, but I've learned that at times I'd be like, no, this is my business. I can go ahead and go do what I need to do, and I'll come back and finish later.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing.
That's
It's
awesome.
like, yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, that's huge. Because you look and in a blink of an eye, it's gone.
Oh, yeah. Time
so
flies.
It does. It does. I mean, our oldest, you've seen him. He's loading up cars, helping on the trailer. I mean, he can back up a trailer better than I can. And, he's 16. So that's huge. I mean, they've learned so much. They are out in the shop all the time. They get to learn customer service and they know more about cars than I probably do.
I
So,
actually talked to Connor about that. This was when I believe you picked up the white GMC that we had
Yep.
long time ago. And your son was helping you. And I was telling Connor, I'm like, do you understand how important that is for that kid to learn those skills that young and just, very respectful, very, paying attention to everything and helping load cars on. I mean, he's learning a lot more than a lot of kids his age are. And kudos to you guys because, I mean, that's huge.
it is
That's
huge.
Thank you.
A+ for parenting. Good job.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
We try.
Yeah, no,
So.
you guys do a wonderful job.
Sometimes you question that as a parent.
Yeah.
If you question it, it means you're doing good.
Yeah.
I've always heard that. Am I good mom? Am I good dad? If you're asking yourself that, you're doing a great job.
Yep.
Thank
You know.
Yeah, we try. So I don't know. Derek being at the fire department, I mean, anything ever goes wrong, it's always going to be when he's at the fire department too, no matter what. We had a horse that went through a fence and I had to do the horse trailer myself and it was icy out. It was flat tired. I mean, like everything was wrong with it. Ended up having to call the vet myself. I mean, anything that could ever go wrong always went wrong when he was on shift. And you cannot just call him and say, hey, I need you to come home. That
Yeah.
just doesn't work. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. So it was just, I mean, in that aspect, it was a lot. But otherwise, I mean, it was hard, especially like with the kids, because it's always like for most people, it's when your dad gets home. It was always when your mom gets home. But it was nice. So it's been an adjustment with the schedule, but that's about it.
How long have you guys been running the shop?
So we opened July of 23, so approaching 2 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That's
it goes by really
amazing.
quick. Yeah, it goes by really quick.
Yep.
So that was like around the time the GMC, right? Was that around when you
Pretty
opened?
close. Yeah,
I've been a
Yep.
little after that, yeah.
yeah. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's
You can say you're some of my first customers now.
wow.
There we go. Not the nicest truck, but
That's all right.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that thing had what, like 440,000.
40.
Yeah.
440. Yeah.
I used to drive that thing when I worked at the pharmacy, and when I was going straight, the wheel did this, and I'm like, "Hang on, everybody, don't look at me." But I'd make it work. I loved
Yeah,
that
no
thing.
narrow roads with that one.
Yeah,
No.
No narrow roads.
That's scary.
it was a hoot. We actually, so after you fixed it up, so his his friend growing up, he bought that from his mom. And after you fixed it up, he actually cleaned the inside and stuff. We actually just gave it back to her.
Yeah, she gave me a good deal when I was young and really couldn't, afford to have a daily
Right.
driver. So, and she always would ask about it, always loved it, always, how many miles you on it and all that stuff.
Did you break 500
And-
yet?
And I was like, hey, would you want it back? She's like, oh, yeah, how much? I'm like, you can just have it, thank you.
Helping
Like,
you
I'll
out when you're
separate ways
younger.
with it. There you go. See
Yeah,
ya.
but it's like way nicer than when I got it. So
Yeah, really
she's like,
cool.
oh, it's so nice now. So
You're like,
she's
"You can
thrilled
have
with it.
it."
She still
That's
drives
awesome.
it every day to this day, to
That's
and
good.
from her little shop. She has like 2 miles from her house.
That's funny.
Because
So
she
awesome.
drives it on. She's like more considered like in the country, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
She has like a little
It's perfect
antique
fit.
shop or something she runs.
Really?
Just 2 miles every day there and
Nothing
back.
wrong with that.
Like it's perfect for that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Made
yeah.
for that.
Yeah. That's what it was for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dirt roads. Come on now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Funny.
I'm trying to think. What else? We knocked out all my questions. So, do you guys got any more for him?
You nailed it.
Yeah.
Do you guys drink energy drinks or just coffee?
No energy drinks
Yeah,
for
we're pretty
me,
much coffee
but
only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have to go over it with this episode too. So, favorite flavor of cheesecake?
Oh yes, there we go. Or if you don't like cheesecake, what other type of cake?
I don't know. Strawberry cheesecake's my favorite, but we did go to
Yes.
we did go to the Cheesecake Factory this week though, and I did have their lemon meringue one. It was pretty good. So I don't know.
Did you have that last time?
Anna had the lemon
Ann-
blueberry.
yeah, okay,
I had
Anna
the
did.
banana cream. We went
Okay.
to cheesecake after our pod last weekend. We were
Okay.
talking about it. We're like, we just need to go there and get a slice. Like,
Yeah.
it's so good. What
It
would
is
you
good.
do?
I say like chocolate peanut butter. Pretty much anything with
Okay.
chocolate in it, I'm in.
Yeah.
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 But I'll tell you what, over cheesecake, you know what I'm going to say. My favorite is the cotton candy blizzards from Dairy Queen. That is my
So
favorite.
I have to take
I
all three.
forget about that.
I haven't had that in like
Well, they
15
used to,
years.
Yeah.
yeah, no, they used to be seasonal. They have them all the time right now, and I just found that out. So every Monday night after church, I am going to Dairy Queen in Blue Springs, and we get a cotton candy blizzard.
Dairy Queen, you
Love
need to
it.
sponsor this gal.
Yes, we do. Yes,
Get her
I
a free one
love
every
those.
Monday.
Yes, yes, they're my favorite.
We like blizzards.
Yes,
That's how I feel about Andy's. And you know what I get at Andy's every single
Oh,
time.
yeah.
We pull up in the drive-through. What is it? Are you getting the same thing every time? It's the birthday cake shake. It's
Really?
cheesecake and rainbow sprinkles. It's not, nothing crazy, but oh man, Andy's just knows what they're doing.
It's funny. We have our really close friends that our daughter's best friends with. They moved to Florida, and they always ate Andy's when they're up here, and now they can't get Andy's because there's not Andy's in Florida.
Yeah.
So every time they come back, we end up at Andy's several times. So
like
yeah.
3 times this week, like except for the night we had cheesecake,
It is
2
so
times. So
good.
yeah,
But like back in the day, they had Sheridan's like over off 291.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Yep.
And then a couple years went by and they shut it down, and then they put Andy's there. I'm like, well, we have to continue the tradition. We still have to go over there. I mean,
well, telling her age, when I was a kid, we used to have what was called TCBY. And TCBY was like the first place you could go get like toppings on your ice cream that I can remember. So I used to always get either bubble gum or gummy worms. And so I would always have that on it. So yeah.
Yeah, I used to go there as well.
Yeah. See?
We had them in Louisiana.
oh really?
So yeah,
yeah.
That's
yeah.
awesome. What would you get there?
at TCBY, I just vanilla Reese's cookie dough.
Yeah.
Put a little bit of everything in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
know.
awesome.
It's crazy. I don't know. We like ice cream, but he's more chocolate, and I want the sugar.
Yeah.
It's not about the chocolate ever for me. So,
Yeah.
mhm.
I don't like chocolate ice cream. I don't know. Like, I'll have certain things chocolate, but not ice cream. But when you say sugar, it just reminds me whenever we had yogurtini back in the day.
Yeah. Mhm.
I would get the Nerds. I would get
Oh,
the gummy worm. I
absolutely.
mean, it was just like diabetes in a cup.
Oh, for sure.
And then you check out, they're like
Yeah.
$12. I'm like, Mom,
Need some
get the
insulin.
card out.
Well, actually, they used to have Nerds at Dairy Queen too. They used to have Nerds there, and then Culver's had them. And we go to Culver's like every Wednesday night, and so they don't have Nerds anymore. And I was like, that kind of just broke my heart. So I just
Yeah.
get sprinkles.
Yeah. Yeah.
But honestly, if you gave me like the favorite red Starburst, I would take that over ice cream.
Oh, yeah. Starburst is good. I don't know if I'd do it over ice cream, but it is
Yeah.
good. I give that to you.
Yeah, I like those.
Do people still go to Baskin Robbins? Like
Yes.
you never hear.
There's one at
Yeah.
Lee Summit.
Casey's gonna watch this and say me every
Okay.
every time she goes in there and she gets it's icing on the cake. It's like birthday cake basically. But I used to go there growing up too, and I told Connor it's called 31 flavors because in Baskin Robbins the B and the A it's 31 or however. I'll show it to you. I'll show you a picture.
I had
Insert
no idea.
picture. But I told Connor and he's like, "What's 31 flavors?" I'm like, "Baskin Robbins." He's like, "No idea."
I've never
Not a
heard that.
clue. Yeah. Okay. Me neither. I
Yeah,
thought I was
no.
crazy.
Yeah, I'll show you guys the
No.
picture after
It
this.
is in the logo. I remember it being in the logo.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Oh,
See,
that's
she
pretty
didn't
good.
know either.
No.
Hey, it's
She looked at me like I
alright.
was nuts. I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
No. Well, and it used to be Baskin Robbins kind of went like just there wasn't as many locations anymore. So whenever
Yeah.
I found one, I would always go because I like their rainbow sherbet. And I don't remember them ever being called 31 flavors.
Oh yeah, I'll show you guys the
That makes
logo.
me
You'll be
feel
like,
so
"What?"
much better.
Yeah.
Really.
Got to learn something new every day.
But they used to have the baseball hats that were upside down that you could get your ice cream in because I remember that.
I remember that too.
Yeah.
In like the upside down cones, and they would make like a clown out of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it was like so much less ice cream, but it looked so cool as a kid.
Yep.
So you're like, "Mom, spend the $6. Come
Yep.
on,
Yep.
get it out of the freezer." So speaking of food, you guys have a busy schedule and stuff. Like, do you guys have like a go-to meal throughout the week? Like, okay, like Monday we're gonna make burgers, or like, what do you guys like to cook throughout the week? Do you guys even have like time to cook, or you guys go out to eat a lot?
I don't cook like I used to. Wednesdays, we always go to Culver's because Wednesdays are really busy for us in between dance and youth group and baseball. So Culver's is our go-to. In fact, they know us at the Green Valley one. Hey, Courtney. They know us. Like, they know our whole order. So,
that's
so yeah.
Say, hey, if Culver's listening.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Culver's in.
Get on board.
Yeah. We spend a lot of money at Culver's. But otherwise, we try to eat at home. We really do.
Yeah.
They're not the meals I used to make. I used to get off at like 4:15. And as my roles have changed with my job, sometimes I don't leave there till after 7, sometimes later, depending
my
upon our
gosh.
schedule.
Yeah.
And so I will still make dinner, but it's more of a joint effort versus me like really making a home cooked meal. Like I used to make literally bread from scratch, homemade cinnamon rolls. Like I love making like real food. And so Joanna Gaines is one of my favorites. If you ever want to get your mom a cookbook, get her the Joanna Gaines ones. Okay. They're great.
Noted.
yeah,
Yes.
we'll say yeah, noted.
Yeah.
And
like,
homemade
seriously
cinnamon
noted.
rolls. I'm like
Yeah.
looking at
Yeah, I
him.
love
I'm
that.
like,
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nothing's
Oh,
better
I used
than
to
that.
do it all the time, and I don't know. I just don't have time anymore.
Yeah.
So
It's like everything we do is usually quick and easy.
yeah,
Tacos, hamburgers, whatever.
Yeah.
Quick, easy, back to work.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. It is just because the time that we're eating now is not what it used to be. Sometimes we're eating dinner at 10:30 at night. Sometimes later.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All over the place.
Yeah.
Part
And you
of
know,
it.
we kind of got away from that. We built our own house, like literally built it. And I don't know, Colton was our oldest was 2, and Easton was like I don't know, he was just born, and so we would spend nights out there, and we'd sometimes eat dinner at 1:00 in the morning.
Oh my
and
gosh.
So I mean, we were just everything from laying rebar to putting out the studs and electrical and plumbing, and just it was a lot. So we got out of that habit of eating so late when they got a little bit older, but we've kind of fallen back into it. So
How was that process building your guys' house?
it was different.
That's a nice way to put that.
Yeah, it was on our property, so that was really convenient. With him working at the fire department, he had a lot of days off.
Yeah.
But like when we went to go lay the foundation, they were coming to do concrete. He was on shift, wouldn't be off till the morning. They were coming at like 6 a.m. So he's got me out there laying rebar by myself at, in the middle of the afternoon because he's like, they're going to be there tomorrow. It's got to be done. Otherwise, I won't do it. And we don't know how long we'll be pushed back in the rain. And so there was just a lot of moving parts to it. So
I bet you learned a lot of crazy new skills doing that, though. That'll do it.
that will do it. So I kind of have a project issue. I like projects. Projects are fun to me. I love painting, and I can paint a room in a day, and it's great. So I do a lot of projects in our house, and I just tell him my vision, and he's like, okay, well, we can do this and this, and he can do electrical and stuff. And so I just tell him what I want, and then we just make it happen. So
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
yeah. Right now we're in a rehab project at my parents' house. We have completely gutted the basement down to the studs, and we're in the middle of redoing everything. So we're in the mudding and taping stages right now. But that's been a weekend project since about the end of January. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh. If we tried
Yeah.
that, we'd be like, yeah, we are certified via YouTube.
Yep. Mhm.
I can make a car look pretty. That's
I
about
can
it.
barely paint a wall.
Oh, no, that's my favorite thing. Like, I can sit there and I can paint all day. It's
Really?
great. Oh, yeah. Yep. It's fresh and it's new, and then I like the decorating part of it, and
Oh, yeah.
it just looks pretty, and I'm like, oh, look, and it's kind of like my vacuum floors when you see all the straight lines. I'm like,
I
don't
love
walk
that.
on my floor.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Close the door behind you. Don't
Yes.
walk. Observe. Don't walk.
Okay, so I got to tell y'all. So we literally went to Nebraska Furniture Mart recently. We had to buy a new washer and dryer. Derek's looking at the RoboVacs, right? And like the Roombas and things. And he's like, you think we should get one? I was like, we don't need one. He's like, no, like, let's get one. So we got one, and it like mops and vacuums. I have to tell you, that's the best thing we've had. We've only had it for like 3 weeks. It vacuums and mops my floors at night. So I wake up in the morning and I have straight vacuum lines all over my carpet. It is the best thing in the whole world.
my
I was like, you
love
did
it.
great. Yes.
I love it.
It's like detailing cars, right? You got to
Yes,
put the lines.
no.
in.
It's I love
great.
that stuff.
No.
That is awesome.
That's
Do
too
the
funny.
investment. I'm just going to tell you, like, it's great. So.
You were big into the.
Yeah, we have one of the Roombas, the one that does the straight lines and stuff.
When we
Love
lived
it.
when we lived at our house, he would run it, if not twice a day.
I just
I
love
mean,
the
it was
lines.
very OCD, but I loved it because I loved coming
That
home to a
looks
clean
clean.
house.
Yes.
But as soon as we moved into our apartment, we're like, nah.
Temporary.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that the mopping part though, that's great too. Like
Yeah,
we
that's
got
huge.
it on there. I was like, oh, this is great. Like this is really awesome.
They're so awesome. I think my Roomba has 700 hours on it.
Oh my.
There's an
goodness.
hour meter on it. And I
Really?
found it in the app. 700 hours.
We had to
It's one of
replace the wheels because the tread it
wore
was
the
like
tread out on
balding
it.
the tires on it.
Really? That's
You're the
awesome.
slicks. I mean, come on. Now.
Yeah. But I
Doing a
just love the
burnout on
lines.
the floor.
That's great. We'll have to look at ours and see because we have it run all night long.
Yep.
I
Like
love
it goes
that.
back to charge and it comes back.
Oh.
Yep.
They're so handy.
Yeah.
How does that work with the mop side of things? Like, do you have to change it out a lot, or do you just throw water in it and a little solution, or what?
Yeah, we just throw water in it with the solution, and then we have to empty the dirty water.
There's a
every
clean water
place.
and a dirty water tank.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, that's so
And it's got mop
nice.
heads, and it comes with extra ones, so you can like throw them in the washer. But it goes back to the docking station and it washes it. So
It's cool.
no, it's cool.
2025. We're on the come
Right?
up, guys.
Oh man,
This is crazy.
yeah. It's honestly been great. And I mean, the first week we didn't even use it at all because we couldn't figure out how to use it. Right? Like you have to set up the map for it and
Yeah.
everything. And here I am. I'm like, everything has to be picked up off the floor. So like I'm picking up all my decorative stuff, everything, thinking it just needs furniture. That's not really what it needed, but it's okay. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I remember that. We'd throw get the sock on the bed. Make sure like throw everything up there.
Well, it's the dog toys most of the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Yep. Well, and I've decided, me and our daughter Vera, we were talking about it today. She's 8, and we were talking about it. I was like, we need to teach our dog Chanel. We need to teach her how to pick up her dog toys. We've figured this out. She's got to learn.
And go put them back.
Yes. No, I'm going to teach her. She's a little toy Australian Shepherd. They're super, super smart. She can learn.
Oh
Determined.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just a YouTube video away, you know.
Yes, yes. Actually, I've looked at a couple of things where they show you how to do it, and I was like, "Ooh, this is good." Yeah,
Yeah.
That's cool. That'd be fun.
yeah. She needs to pick them up. Otherwise, I mean, it does go around it, but then my
Yeah.
lines aren't straight.
Exactly.
And so
And then you
I'm
basically
like, wait,
have to redo the whole thing.
right, exactly. So I try to go up, through the house and pick everything up. I used to do that with kids too. I told them at night that if their toys weren't picked up before they went to bed, that they would be thrown away. So I
Oh my
eventually,
gosh.
oh yeah,
This is literally my mom. So like whenever I was younger, if we ever did something like, what was it? The light in the cul-de-sac was on and we weren't home. She would make us go up into our playroom with a trash bag and say, fill it up. We're going to Goodwill tomorrow. I never disrespected that woman ever again. I'm like, she's not messing around.
oh
Because
yeah.
one of them, I was like, you know what? I can fill up this trash bag with a big unicorn and I'll just go to Goodwill tomorrow. Went to Goodwill. It was gone. I'm like, oh, I will never do that again.
Hard
Oh,
lesson.
Yeah.
I used to stick them in a black or like in a trash bag, and then I would tell them, I'm going to throw these away if you don't clean up your room, you can't clean up your toys, and these go in the trash.
Yeah.
And wouldn't listen. So I just started throwing them in the trash. Like I will just flat out throw them in the trash. Don't even care, because you don't pick them up. You don't care about them enough to actually
go.
play with them. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's great parenting.
I didn't want to walk. I didn't want to
love
walk
it.
on them in the middle of the night. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, that was my biggest thing, and then
Yeah.
hurt myself. So
No, it's a great lesson because like even to this day, I never forgot it. I'm like, hey,
Well, and it's funny because our middle kiddo, he will go out and organize Derek's shop. Like he'll go and he'll organize all the tools. Everything has to be super organized, and he'll pick it up for him. So that part's really great.
no, that's amazing. Because once you're like at a shop and stuff gets disorganized, and you're like, where'd that wrench go or what? Oh, you can't even continue until you
No,
find it.
you
Absolutely.
can't.
You
No.
know?
Like hours have been spent looking for stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing drives
Yes.
me more crazy than a missing tool.
Oh,
my
yeah.
I'm like,
gosh.
where did I go?
Always when you
I'll,
need it, too.
I'll text my guys and be like, did you use this? Where's it at?
Yeah,
Yes.
somewhere weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
way back in the day, I used to help Brandon. I used to clean up at Taos, and if like one thing was missing, or I'd find some, or not missing, but I'd find something like underneath like a toolbox or something, and he's like, "Where'd you find that?" And I'm like, "It was just right here." I'm like, so I was trying to like be very OCD, put everything back, wipe everything down, but yeah, because I mean, I get it. I mean, even just a socket. I mean.
Hey, when you need it, you need it.
And you can't continue until you find
Well,
it.
and then you
sometimes.
have to wonder where
Nope.
did it go.
yeah.
I mean, you don't want it in a customer's car or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's the kind of thing that he will stress out about. I mean, we'll lose hours of everybody looking for it to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And it'll be somewhere like rolled underneath a workbench or something. But
Yeah.
it gives you peace of mind, because otherwise he'll tear the whole motor apart.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
until he can find it. And he's like, nope, not there. So yeah.
Man. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was so lovely having you guys. Can't wait to have Chad watch this.
He probably didn't get all the secrets he wanted.
No.
That's okay.
Yeah,
That's for next time.
That's for another day.
exactly.
I'll give
Thank you guys,
I'll give
though.
you-
Yeah.
Yes, thank you guys for having us.
Yes, thank you.
It's been fun.
This is awesome.
Thank you.
So, well, that concludes today's episode. Once again, thank Derek and Kari from Redemption Auto. And don't forget to share, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.